The ants seemed very skilled at lifting large stones on their backs, until finally, sharp iron spears emerged from the ground to pierce them one by one. The iron seemed to be drawn towards its target and destroyed it with a single strike. Qin Feng, controlling the large iron spear, said that after extracting the gold attribute and sand control, the attack power became twice as strong, but it drained too much metal power. Moreover, to protect the queen ant, they wouldn't fear death. So that's why Qin Feng immediately attacked them recklessly using the newly controlled metal. The young man realized if he didn't destroy the ants' brains, they would continue to attack even if their bodies were severed. The system appeared and notified that Qin Feng had successfully killed worker ants. Thus, he gained 8 points and an additional 620 EXP. He thought fighting with metal in this way was quite troublesome. If he could use the poison, it would be easier. However, the ants moved separately, and it was difficult to control a wide area with their current strength. So Qin Feng cut off the head of one ant and said he would make all the ant monsters gather in one place. This young man boldly threw the severed head into the midst of the ant monster crowd, shouting that the foolish ants must attack him now. Seeing the head of one of their companions severed, the anger of the ant monsters surged instantly. Instead of being afraid, Qin Feng was delighted to see this. He didn't understand what the ants were saying, but he realized the next scene would be too dangerous. Because there were hundreds of ant monsters looking very angry heading towards him. Qin Feng immediately raised both arms high and created a poisonous ball, saying that those ants must feel the newly created poison. Then, with a single wave, Qin Feng rained down the newly created lethal poison on the ants, killing them instantly. Many ants writhed in pain and fell, dead. In this way, Qin Feng succeeded in killing many ants and gaining points and EXP consecutively. Qin Feng smiled and said with this many ant monsters, he could gain points, EXP, and power as quickly as possible. Therefore, he could win the bet again. Suddenly, a hologram screen appeared right beside him and said that Qin Feng's points had reached 300. Qin Feng was surprised because the hologram screen appeared suddenly. Qin Feng asked the system not to appear suddenly again because such reminders were unnecessary. Qin Feng asked to be notified only when receiving rewards. The system finally informed that if Qin Feng's village team won, he would receive additional rewards. Suddenly, Qin Feng was startled when he saw a large ant in front of him with a very strong aura of power. It was the general of the ants. Its combat power level was at 23 stars. Its special ability was to rampage as a metal devourer, and it was the absolute guardian. The ant general closed its eyes to avoid being affected by the poison. Qin Feng saw this ant general coming again with a horde of ants that seemed stronger in resisting its poison. Qin Feng could see that his poison was not effective in killing the new group of ants because it couldn't enter their eyes. Now Qin Feng could only use this method. He controlled the metal to stab the heads of the ants one by one. This young man stabbed all the ants brave enough to approach the cliff where he stood valiantly. These ants were clever enough to avoid Qin Feng's iron thrust attacks. But this young man was not short of ideas to attack in other ways. Especially with the monster so close, he could attack easily. Suddenly, Qin Feng was startled by the throw of a very large metal ball. Fortunately, this young man managed to dodge in time. Qin Feng realized this was the ability of a high-level wild beast. Qin Feng swiftly and quickly stabbed the heads of each monster ant. Because the ant monsters could instruct other ants to close their eyes to avoid the poison and spread out to attack Qin Feng's defense with large metal stones. Qin Feng realized the situation was getting worse because long-range attacks were ineffective now, so he would attack at close range. This young man quickly drew his cherished sword and attacked the ant master with all his fighting skills. Qin Feng was shocked because before he could move, one of the ants had already caught his leg. Qin Feng just realized that the ant climbed up to distract him so that several others could catch him. But Qin Feng managed to easily chop off a few of those ants. Then he jumped off the cliff and said that the Mammoth Belt, Mammoth King Armor, Mysterious Crystal Armor, and many other protective devices known to Qin Feng made it so easy for him to be injured by these ants. Qin Feng shouted that these ant monsters were useless and he would become a nightmare for them. The system kept appearing only to inform the many points and EXP this young man obtained after killing many monsters. Finally, Qin Feng was surrounded by several ant monsters at once. These ant monsters held Qin Feng's arms, legs, and shoulders simultaneously. Although Qin Feng tried to shake them off, these ants could work together to attack and restrain his movements. Qin Feng realized that these many ant monsters wanted to bury him alive. That's why the ant monsters attacked him simultaneously until Qin Feng's body was no longer visible. However, Qin Feng wouldn't be Qin Feng if he didn't have a well-thought-out battle plan. The young man wanted to use hellfire to burn all the ants surrounding him. A tremendously large blue flame erupted, burning the ants until they were thrown far away, lifeless. Now Qin Feng gained points and EXP again after burning so many monsters. From behind the blazing flames, this young man smiled broadly because he felt unbeatable. Qin Feng asked the ant general to open his eyes wide and see clearly. This was his trump card. Qin Feng unleashed a powerful hellfire attack to eliminate the ant general. Finally, the system reappeared and notified that this young man had successfully killed the metal-eating ant general who had mutated to level 12. Qin Feng gained 200 EXP after defeating the ant general. He also gained 20 points and 3 honor points for killing the general. Qin Feng stood outside the ant nest cave, wondering why the ant queen hadn't emerged yet, even though he had made a powerful move outside their cave. When Qin Feng looked into the dark cave mouth, another ant monster suddenly appeared, easily killed by Qin Feng with his spear. Qin Feng calculated his points, now reaching 800, making the total points of the entire beginner village 911 to be 867. Adding the points from village 34 and a potential 77, they would quickly reach 1000 points. Qin Feng wanted to see if any ants were left to give him those points. But when he looked back, there were no ants alive, only those remaining to be his victims. So Qin Feng had no choice but to enter the ant nest cave. As he ventured into the cave, Qin Feng could feel the damp air, soft ground, and a chocolate-like smell inside. So Qin Feng walked carefully, aided by the hellfire's light in his palm. Qin Feng had read a book before and knew that if everything was in danger, the antennae would send danger signals, causing the chocolate scent to spread to inform the ant troops and other ant members. Seeing the energy deeper in the cave, Qin Feng suspected they had prepared something to welcome him. Once inside the main chamber of the cave, Qin Feng saw a large hall filled with ants facing the ant queen. The ant queen had a human head and body, but half of her body was a giant ant larger than the other ants. The ant queen screamed as she laid small eggs that were immediately received by other ants. From these eggs, worker ants would emerge, capable of devouring metal and growing rapidly. Qin Feng was astonished at how these ants reproduced. Qin Feng commented that it's no wonder the ant queen ranked 4 out of the 5 great king beasts. With her reproductive ability and highly loyal troops, even 10 mammoth kings wouldn't match her. The system then revealed that the ant queen had a battle level of up to 30 stars, with telekinesis specialization ranked D. While Qin Feng's attention was diverted, another ant monster suddenly appeared from behind and stabbed him in the shoulder. Luckily, the attack was stopped by Qin Feng's mysterious blue armor. Quickly, Qin Feng slashed the daring ant monster that attacked him. Qin Feng rubbed his shoulder and realized the attack almost hit him. Fortunately, he reacted in time, or else he would have died. Suddenly, his movement was stopped by the sound field created by the ant queen. Then, the ant queen ordered all the troops inside the cave to attack Qin Feng. Quickly, the ants produced refined metal from deposits and covered their bodies with black iron armor. According to Qin Feng, it was a brilliant strategy for ants. Qin Feng saw the ant monsters extracting a lot of iron from seed deposits and covering their entire bodies with black iron armor. He thought it was a clever tactic. The ant queen immediately ordered all her subordinates to attack Qin Feng. Seeing a horde of ant monsters attacking him, Qin Feng quickly pulled out sharp iron blades and swords from his hands. With determination, Qin Feng leaped into the middle of the cave and said he had killed hundreds of ants like them outside the cave. So first, he stabbed the ants with dozens of spear blades, then slashed them with his sword. While fighting, Qin Feng said that no matter how many ant troops the queen brought, they were just points to help him level up in front of his current strength. Qin Feng then smeared his poison on the mouth of one ant and told it to taste his special drink. Then, he continued slashing the ants, saying he hoped the poison would suit the taste of these ant monsters. The ant queen began to panic as many of her troops were defeated. But Qin Feng kept heading towards the queen, saying that now the warrior ants were defeated, so he would soon move on to the closing. Qin Feng threw a fireball and told the queen to accept her fate. However, the ant queen still had a secret weapon, shooting slime from her mouth. Qin Feng was frustrated because he couldn't avoid the slime attack while airborne, so he had to face it with his blue armor. Qin Feng jumped back quite far but didn't feel much pushing force, so he wondered if the recent attack was just a deception. Then Qin Feng saw his arm guard melting. He realized that the slime contained highly corrosive anthranilate acid, which could even destroy the strongest defense of his crystal armor. Qin Feng suspected this was the queen's acid card. But he still smiled confidently and said unfortunately for the queen, his opponent. Qin Feng created another fireball to attack the queen. This time, the queen shot out very strong slime, causing both great powers to collide. The queen thought her power was greater and managed to explode Qin Feng. She didn't realize her opponent was approaching and decided it was time to strike the queen. With a single strike, Qin Feng told the queen to fulfill her final duty and die. With that, Qin Feng jumped behind the wounded queen. With a cold face, he told the queen to burn in hell with her followers. With the remaining strength she had, the Ant Queen tried to reach out and call Qin Feng, but ultimately couldn't and collapsed. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully killed the level 13 gold-eating queen. Qin Feng gained an additional 6,000 energy points and 4 honor points. Qin Feng also obtained treasure in the form of the essence of the queen. Additionally, he won a war treasure, a chest of gold class. Qin Feng held the gold coin in his hand and said that so far, he had collected 2 types of monster heart cores, and his exploration had yielded results. Meanwhile, in another village, Lord Miyamoto successfully decapitated one of the bear monsters. His subordinate reported that the Lord had scored 62 points. Based on their calculations, the total number of points for their village should already exceed 600. Lord Miyamoto remarked that it seemed he didn't need to perform harakiri. Just for information, harakiri is a form of ritual suicide in Japan by cutting open the abdomen with a dagger or knife. Typically, this act of suicide is commonly performed by samurai who have failed in their duties. Lord Miyamoto laughed satisfactorily with all his members as they were confident they would win and the Dragon Kingdom would be completely defeated. But suddenly, fireballs fell onto their village. The system appeared and announced that the Alliance Village group in the red box was the first to reach 1,000 points in this bet, so all villages affiliated with the red team won this bet. Consequently, 5 villages lost the bet, with the starting attributes of each beginner in those 5 villages reduced by 50 points, and all resources in those villages would be reduced by 70%. The system continued to announce that there was a deficit of points that needed to be paid as a result of losing the bet, which would lead to penalties for the losing side. All members of Lord Miyamoto's village screamed in panic as they were bombarded by the firestones. They didn't expect the Alliance team in the blue box to lose. Instantly, people screamed in pain as they were hit by the firestone attacks. The system continued to appear and informed that the attribute points of some members of the losing beginner villages were reduced to negative, and their lives had ended. Many cries for help echoed around Lord Miyamoto. The man in samurai attire looked bewildered as his attribute points continued to disappear. Even Lord Miyamoto couldn't do anything when his trusted people asked for help because they were currently helpless. Some people around him crawled, approached, and begged to be saved. They all screamed, reaching out for help to Lord Miyamoto, who could only stand silently without doing anything. Finally, Lord Miyamoto fell to his knees with a pale face. His voice trembled as he said his people. He had lost his people and everything. Meanwhile, Qin Feng sat relaxed on a rock while checking his hologram screen. Occasionally, this young man had to fend off small ants trying to attack him, saying that killing ants of that size now would not give him any energy or additional points. So the young man drove the ants away and asked them not to disturb him. As the small ants were thrown away, Qin Feng asked them to become stronger if they wanted to avenge their queen. As if understanding Qin Feng's words, the small ants seemed to communicate with each other and then collectively crawled back into the cave. Qin Feng was looking at the hologram screen, which indicated that the prizes were currently being calculated. So Qin Feng had to wait for a moment. Qin Feng suddenly remembered that the system had notified him when the village succeeded in winning the bet. The youth had been too busy killing ants and missed the earlier notification. Now Qin Feng wanted to see how much reward he had received. The system informed him that the honor points he possessed had reached 30, thus he had successfully obtained the title of the Young King. His strength exceeded 20 as well as his physical and mental agility. From this, Qin Feng concluded that his high reputation could grant him titles, which he didn't find bad at all. The system also informed him that the rewards had been doubled, increasing 100 attribute points. Since the player's points had exceeded 800, the attribute rewards increased by 160. Qin Feng's hard work was rewarded with 6 silver chests. Seeing all these rewards, Qin Feng felt happy because the system did not waste his efforts in formulating strategies against many monsters. The system also announced that Pamulang village number 911 had become the first to reach level 10. Thus, Qin Feng was entitled to 1 gold chest. While tallying up all his rewards, the youth suddenly realized that he had reached level 10. Feeling like he had never seen this mission before, Qin Feng immediately pressed the button to see further details. The system congratulated Qin Feng on reaching level 10 and asked if he would activate the future village leader mission. The reward for this mission was the village leader scroll and a gold chest. Qin Feng noticed there were 5 C-ranking mission seals and a very dark gold chest. Meanwhile, the rewards for the C-ranking mission were equivalent to those for the first place among beginners. Qin Feng needed to read the mission content description first. The D-ranking content was about the future village head. This time's mission content involved searching for a level 10 area, searching for the lost village in the cemetery desert, and killing demons. The reward for this mission was the village head's meeting scroll and a gold chest. However, a reminder stated that level 10 was required to obtain the title of Beginner King to qualify for this mission. The system once again warned that fragments of dark seals were needed to open the buried lost village under the desert. Becoming the village head was the only way for the development of a beginner village. A beginner village without a village head would be disbanded, and the beginners would become refugees, losing the protection of their wooden houses. Beginners could grow and expand, while the village head could lead the village people to build villages, towns, territories, kingdoms, and even divine territories. Qin Feng realized that the cemetery area meant the lost village he had passed through before. Qin Feng felt it was a good thing because he had found the key to enter the lost village. Since it was already evening, the youth decided to complete several missions first. While tossing a coin, he said that it would be great if good things like this kept happening. Qin Feng thought the nickname Village Head of Pamulang number 911 sounded very suitable for him. Qin Feng said he needed to prepare before continuing to the cemetery desert. First, he had to utilize all the attributes he had obtained. So Qin Feng asked the system to add all the attributes he possessed. Instantly, all the attributes were automatically integrated into his body by the system. The youth felt an extraordinary sensation as all the attributes were added. Now Qin Feng had strength points up to 463 plus, agility points reaching 461, and his mental strength reached 474 points. He also acquired many elemental talents such as controlling sand, controlling metal, and even controlling fire. Meanwhile, his combat ability had reached 47 stars. Qin Feng realized he had successfully obtained an F-ranking improvement in Indra from hunting these metal ants. He only lacked an increase in sensation. After releasing the power from hunting the general metal ant, it transformed into true strength, now 5 times stronger than before. After extracting from the ant queen, Qin Feng's metal control strength reached a D ranking. So, the youth could easily attach an iron armor to his body. However, he couldn't extract the ant queen's acid, which Qin Feng regretted. Additionally, because his mental control had been enhanced, combining with mind control, sand control, and metal control could form a deadly attack, piercing and stabbing. The damage created by this iron spear would increase. Qin Feng would try out this new spear power by piercing many ant monsters at once. The soul energy used when using this skill also only decreased by half, so he thought this skill was very good. Qin Feng had also awakened the talent of energy expenditure. The energy emitted was formed within the body to attack enemies just like inner chi. The energy was immense and could explode the target from a considerable distance. This energy could also be combined with weapons, thereby increasing the damage caused by those weapons. Nonchalantly, Qin Feng stretched his body, saying that the ability to pierce and shoot energy was enough to defeat ordinary monsters. Hellfire used a large amount of metal soul, so Qin Feng had to be careful when using it. But the youth still smiled happily because he had succeeded in obtaining a lot of loot. Qin Feng became even happier because he would start his main event, which was opening all the chests he had obtained. However, suddenly Lu Xian sent him a message and wanted to ask for a private chat room. Qin Feng was surprised and wondered why the number 2 person in Village 911 was looking for him. Lu Xian immediately said that he had something interesting when the chat room was opened. The youth intended to trade with Qin Feng. Without much preamble, Qin Feng immediately asked what Lu Xian wanted. Lu Xian explained that he had a combination chest card, and he wanted to exchange it for the wolf blood sword. This combination chest card was a level 2 item. If this card was used, it could combine 5 low-ranking chests with a high-ranking chest. A reminder from the system said that this card could only be used on gold chests or chests with levels below it. Qin Feng thought that the silver chest only had a 2% chance of getting a rank 4 item, while the gold chest had a 98% chance of opening a rank 4 item and a 2% chance of a rank 5 item. Comparatively, 1 gold chest was indeed more valuable than 10 silver chests. Perhaps others couldn't acquire so many chests, making this card useless for them, but Qin Feng had many chests and deemed this card extremely valuable. Eventually, they both agreed to exchange. Lu Xian thanked Qin Feng for agreeing to the exchange. Afterward, Qin Feng immediately combined all the chests. He opened a gold chest and obtained a rank 4 item, the Wind God's Boots. These boots had a speed of 100 points, defense of 50 points, and 100% resistance to movement, fire, and water. When he opened the next gold chest, the young man successfully acquired another rank 4 items, the Illusion Shadow Necklace. This necklace had a mind power of 100 points and the ability to clone shadows. By consuming specific soul metal, the shadow clones could be solidified to fight independently. The system also noted that the clones could only possess half the combat capability of the main body. The shadow cloning skill needed to awaken a ranking C ability, the Sixth Sense. Qin Feng believed that all the rank 4 skills and equipment he obtained were extraordinary. He had 8 silver chests that could be combined into a gold chest. Now, Qin Feng wanted to post a purchase notice on the public channel for another chest combination card. In the first announcement, Qin Feng offered to exchange a Bear King's Steel War Armor, rank 2, for a rank 2 chest combination card. If someone was interested in this offer, they could contact Qin Feng through a private channel. As for the second offer, Qin Feng would exchange Dark Priangan Boots, rank 2, for a rank 2 Lightning combination card. Again, if someone was interested in this exchange, they could contact Qin Feng privately. Everyone started buzzing with excitement because Qin Feng was the one making the offers. Now, Qin Feng stood on the cliff and declared that he would welcome the second night in this end-of-world setting as soon as possible. With the help of the Wind King's boots, the young man was determined to confront the monster with the dog head. While destroying the monsters around him, the young man remarked that his speed had greatly increased after obtaining the Wind God's boots. Previously, it took him 3 hours, but now, it only took him 1 hour to kill monsters in the desert area. Qin Feng realized that when he reached the desert of the Lost Village, the village gate would soon appear. So, he decided to level up by killing all the monsters around the desert area first. Then, Qin Feng could experiment with his new abilities and acquire many attributes and other things. Currently, Qin Feng is at level 10, 217,000/230,000 EXP, meaning he is not far from leveling up. Qin Feng's combat skills were nearing their limit, at 49 stars. At the same time, Qin Feng had reached the limit for extracting level 10 wild monsters. Only levels 8 and 9 remain to reach the extraction limit. That's why Qin Feng went berserk in this area with considerable strength to quickly achieve his goal. Qin Feng even considered buying as many wild beast carcasses as possible. After Qin Feng successfully cleaned up the area, the earth trembled, and the Lost Village gate appeared. Qin Feng saw a large hole in the ground and jumped confidently. This time, Qin Feng landed gracefully thanks to all the power he had gained. Qin Feng thought that from now on, he would always land this gracefully. Qin Feng stood calmly, staring at the transparent dimensional gate in front of him. Slowly, an arm with claws emerged from the gate. Qin Feng smirked as he greeted the figure emerging from the dimensional gate as if they hadn't seen each other in a long time. With his current abilities, Qin Feng easily defeated the dog-headed monsters. This time, Qin Feng even managed to defeat them all, creating a powerful explosion. The dog-headed monsters were astonished at how Qin Feng had become so strong in such a short time. Qin Feng answered with a saying that one should be seen differently even if their separation lasted only 3 days. Yet, according to Qin Feng, it had only been 1 day, but the dog-headed monsters could no longer defeat him. The system appeared and revealed that the dog-headed monsters were Hell's troops, with a level of 10. Their combat power was 20 stars, and their characteristics were cruelty, bloodthirstiness, and ferocity. Their talent was empowered darkness, and their skill was using hellfire to cause damage. Qin Feng remembered that they had said the guardians of hell couldn't be killed, but now he knew the monster's weakness. And now, he would find a way. Qin Feng destroyed the head of the Hell Guardian monster, asking how they would resurrect themselves after their heads were blown up. The system appeared and announced that the killing of the Hell Guardian was successful. Thus, Qin Feng was entitled to 15 evaluation points and gained an additional 1000 EXP. With this, he obtained a piece of the Dark Village altar. The system also clarified that Qin Feng had to collect the 7 dark crystals to lift the demon altar seal, then release the demon and kill it to cleanse the village. The first 10 people from the Blue Star World to complete this mission would receive a gold chest and 20 attribute points. The first 10 people to complete the mission would also receive an additional 100% attribute points for their village. Qin Feng was the 7th person from the Blue Star World to activate this mission. The system urged the young man to hurry because time was running out. Qin Feng realized that the Blue Star World referred to by the system was his world. 6 others had obtained the scroll, so this youth immediately entered the other dimension and continued his mission. Qin Feng realized that there were many kinds of crawling creatures and hidden dragons in the Blue Star World, so if he didn't hurry, he might not be able to reach the top 10 ranks. Just as the youth entered the gateway to the other dimension, he was suddenly attacked by a fat man. Fortunately, Qin Feng managed to avoid it in time. The system appeared and announced that Village 911 had won the bet multiple times, so the mission became twice as difficult, and the fighting ability of evil creatures and rewards would also be increased in this mission. The system warned once again that Village 911 was the only village whose difficulty had been increased. The fat man told Qin Feng to die immediately before himself. But before the fat man could finish speaking, his head was cut off by the energy sword created by Qin Feng. The youth said the fat man's level meant nothing if he didn't have adequate strength. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had successfully killed a sealed demon follower at level 13, which was a king level. So Qin Feng was entitled to an additional 7,000 EXP points and an additional 100 consideration points. With this, Qin Feng successfully reached level 11 and obtained a dark crystal. A man with a ponytail appeared and said that the first fat man was just a pile of garbage. Qin Feng looked at the man with sharp eyes. Qin Feng read the information on the hologram screen about his opponent. The ponytailed man was also a sealed demon follower. The ponytailed man was at level 14, and his estimated combat power was 50 stars, while his talents and characteristics were kept secret. The origin of this ponytailed man was that he was previously a former beginner king but had been revived with dark energy after dying from an attack by evil demons. Qin Feng realized that the combat ability of this ponytailed man was extraordinarily high, seemingly because the mission difficulty was also increased. If Qin Feng died in this mission, it seemed he would also become a follower of that demon. Qin Feng honestly admitted that the ponytailed man did indeed look stronger than the fat one. They now faced each other and were on guard. The ponytailed man raised his spear and told Qin Feng not to bother with the fat one, who was like the bottom of a garbage can. Qin Feng retorted that the ponytailed man's words were too cruel to say to a deceased friend. They immediately engaged in combat with powerful weapons. Qin Feng taunted the ponytailed man, asking why he didn't leave immediately, and apologized to the spirit of the fat man now. The ponytailed man was furious and said Qin Feng was just a level 11 beginner. Nevertheless, the ponytailed man looked overwhelmed while holding off Qin Feng's sword. They both dodged each other's attacks, then Qin Feng quickly managed to hit the ponytailed man's face until he spat blood. Even the ponytailed man's body was thrown quite far and hit a large rock. However, the ponytailed man confidently said that Qin Feng had forgotten to mention that it was better not to touch his body parts because he could freeze anything just by touching it. With this ability, his opponent wouldn't be able to fight back and could only beg for mercy. Sure enough, Qin Feng's entire body slowly froze and was covered in ice. The ponytailed man approached with a confident smile. He shouted to retaliate against Qin Feng's blow earlier, saying he would crush him to pieces. Qin Feng could only remain silent as he saw his opponent starting to approach and prepare to thrust the spear at Qin Feng. But suddenly, the ponytailed man's body stiffened as his upper body was pierced by Qin Feng's iron spear. Thus, all the ice on Qin Feng's body slowly shattered. The system appeared and announced that Qin Feng had once again successfully killed a sealed demon follower at level 14. So the youth was entitled to receive 8,000 ISP and an additional 120 consideration points. Not to forget, Qin Feng also obtained a dark crystal. Qin Feng walked towards the body of the ponytailed man, saying he forgot to mention not to approach him because anyone would end up as an EXP bait to increase his level. Suddenly, there was a resounding cry of demons echoing in the dark sky. Qin Feng realized that the dark fog was thickening after hearing the demon clouds. Then slowly, from behind the dark fog, several figures appeared, walking toward Qin Feng. The system appeared and announced that the 4 people who had just appeared were sealed demon followers, each of them at king level 15. They were a man in warrior attire, a bald old man carrying a scythe, a teenager in a striking blue jacket, and a beautiful girl in Hanfu attire. Qin Feng looked completely alert, realizing that the 4 people in front of him were not simple. Qin Feng smiled and said there should be 7 people because there should be 7 dark crystals. So the youth wondered why someone was missing. Just as the youth finished speaking, a beautiful girl suddenly appeared right behind him. Qin Feng was so surprised by the girl's presence because he hadn't felt anything behind him before. The girl smiled sweetly and then clasped her hands in front of her chest. Suddenly, Qin Feng became extremely dizzy to the point where he couldn't move his limbs. At that moment, Qin Feng seemed trapped in a beautiful illusion and entered a mysterious flower garden. Qin Feng saw the beautiful girl in white pajamas appearing in the garden. Unbeknownst to the youth, outside of this illusion, his opponent was preparing with a terrifying glare in his eyes.